What's up YouTube? Chill Gamer here. So instead of a wordy intro, I'll just sum it up with this clip. And there you have it, folks. Today, I'll be showing you exactly how to farm Kaiba at level 40 using a very consistent and high score method. This will make it so much easier to get that damn OP card called Enemy Controller. Let's go! So, I posted a video over a week ago on how to farm Kaiba after the update to version 1.3.0. This was a Guardian Baou deck that will get 6,000 to 7,000 Duel Assessment Points. You can watch that video by clicking on the annotation on the left. Now, after using up all of my precious white keys to experiment for you guys, I've improved that Guardian Baou deck so it is now optimal for farming Kaiba. There are also a couple of key strategies that you have to use during the duel to get the most out of the deck, which I'll show you in this video. So let's jump into the deck itself. The star of the show is our Guardian Baou. He gains 1,000 attack for every monster he destroys, and our goal is to get him to over 10,000. Next, Wicked Breaking Flamberge Baou must be on the field for Guardian Baou to be summoned, so we need 3 in this deck. To help us draw this combo, we need Arsenal Summer to get Guardian Baou, and also we'll put in Iron Blacksmith Koketsu to get the Flamberge. We'll also need cards to stop Kaiba's annoying enemy controllers and twisters, so we'll include Magic Jammer, Curse of Royal, and Riryoku. Finally, make sure to use Bandit Keith and his skill Switcheroo to get the cards we need into our hand faster. So as you can see, we got pretty damn lucky with this drawing to our Guardian Baou and our Flamberge. So we have the 2 key cards that we need in this deck for this combo. However, there have been many other duels where this hasn't been the case, and I know that many of you will say that you've experienced this too. And in those cases, the Arsenal Summer and the Blacksmith are very key in getting the cards you need in your hand as soon as possible. If you want to see another video on the raw footage of how I use this deck in multiple duels in a row, just to show you that, these hand draws aren't always as good as they are in this video, I can show you what I do in those situations and how I still end up getting a high duel assessment through those duels. You can see those videos by clicking here. Now, because we have 2 Flamberges in our hand, we can use Bandit Keith's skill Switcheroo to switch one out for a different card. Unfortunately, I've heard complaints about this before too, where Switcheroo just switches out this card for the exact same card, and that can be extremely frustrating, and that's exactly what happened here, which, terrible. So I didn't actually place a card down on the field because I wanted to save my Guardian Baou for later, and if I put it on the field he would get destroyed immediately. So as you can see, we draw our 3rd Flamberge, and then we switch it out and we get, unfortunately, a Blacksmith. So we're getting a lot of redundant cards in our hand. What we have to remember though is, because Kaiba has 2 enemy controllers and 2 twisters, we want to always keep that in the back of our head to make sure that we can stop it at any time. And sometimes there will be a few turns where you won't have anything to stop his spell cards, but what you want to do is just make sure to remember that those things can happen, that he can use those cards to completely ruin your strategy, and for that reason you want to make sure to set your Magic Jammer or Riryoku Field or Curse of Royal as soon as possible when you get them. So in this draw, we draw our Riryoku. As you can see earlier, I set my Guardian Baou because I did have a Windstorm of Etaqua, and so I wanted to just get him on the field, and I knew that next turn I would have be able to equip my Flamberge onto either my own monster or, in this case, onto my opponent's monster. Now that's a key strategy that I didn't really focus on in the last video, but because the most important thing is to get your Guardian Baou on the field, so no matter which monster you can equip the Flamberge to, you want to do it. In this case, I equipped it to my opponent and then used the Riryoku to destroy my opponent's monster and was able to gain that 1000 attack. And from there, I just keep attacking monsters and keep gaining 1000 attack each time. So we keep destroying monsters and Guardian Baou's attack will keep going higher and higher. It's at 3800 now, but again, at this point we're a little nervous because the opponent, still has 2 enemy controllers left in his deck, and although his set card clearly isn't an enemy controller, otherwise he would have used it by now, it's a Twister. What we need to remember is that we need to try and be wary, and when the moment we draw a card that can stop a enemy controller, we want to set it down as soon as possible. Now Half Shut I've included in this deck, very important, because what this actually can allow you to do is to put Guardian Baou in defense position, set it in defense position without a Flamberge on the field, and if your opponent attacks it, you can actually activate Half Shut in the damage step to be able to save Guardian Baou from being destroyed, but now it is flipped face up, meaning it's officially summoned and you don't actually need to have a Flamberge on the field to summon it. The only problem with this is once you've summoned it, you do need to destroy a monster as soon as possible, otherwise it will only have 800 attack and be eliminated as soon as possible. So when this happens, you kind of want to draw a Riryoku to help your Guardian Baou destroy a monster after it's been flipped face up. So our attack is just climbing higher and higher. It's at 6800 now. Our goal again is to get it over 10,000 so that we can do a direct attack at the very end to be able to get our 3000 duel assessment bonus. Some things to also keep in mind is because we want to get as high of a duel assessment score as possible, we do sometimes want to use our Arsenal Summoner or Blacksmith just to empty out our deck so that we can have an even deck with Kaiba. So by the time that he has very low cards in his deck, we'll have hopefully 0 cards in our deck and be able to get that bonus on our last turn as well. As you can see here, our attack is at 7800 now. It'll just keep climbing as we attack and destroy more monsters. Here what I'm doing is actually just activating my Half Shot just to get rid of it from the field so I can set my Magic Jammer. Again, we have to be very wary that our opponent still has enemy controllers left in his deck, and he can use them at any time to either attack us directly with our own Guardian Baou, or ruin our strategy at the very end by putting our final attack of Guardian Baou into defense position. So our attack has already reached over 10,000, we've reached our goal, and now we just are basically playing to set up for the very final turn of this game, where we have, if our opponent has another monster on his field, we want to take it down with another beatdown on our field, and then once that's gone, attack directly with Guardian Baou. And sometimes that's why it's important to have, you know, Arsenal somewhere as well, because they can also act as a beatdown monster, and it can destroy all of Kaiba's cards in defense position because it has high enough attack. And here what I'm doing is I'm putting down a beatdown monster and equipping it with the Flamberge, actually because I want to make sure that if Kaiba has any Force Raiders left, that he won't be able to overpower any of our beatdown monsters and stop it from doing our final attack. So Kaiba uses his enemy controller. Thankfully we have our magic jammer set on the field, ready for this exact moment. We destroy it, and here is the final attack. And as you can see, we managed to get 5,900 points, and we got our enemy controller. Usually this deck will actually get 6,000 to 7,000. The only problem in this one was because I didn't draw out enough of my deck to make it reach 0 at the very end, but I had to finish my turn or else Kaiba would have lost the duel the next turn by drawing out. And so there you have it. This is how to use the Guardian Baou deck. Again, if you want footage, raw footage on me dueling Kaiba multiple times and how I use the deck to make it a consistent win and get high scores every time, please take a look at this video. If you liked this video or it was helpful to you, please subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.